Hi, welcome or welcome back. It has been a long time since I've uploaded. To be honest, there's been a lot of videos that I've tried to make and just decided to never edit and upload them for whatever reason. Honestly, I wasn't sure that I was gonna upload again for a long time, maybe if ever, but I've had a lot going on recently and something's happened to me that I would like to talk about, and I want to share this story. This is going to be kind of a long one, so I decided to break this up into two videos. So this is going to be part one. This is going to be kind of the explanation of what's been going on in my life the last 2 months. I don't really know how to start this, so I'm just going to go in like chronological order of everything that's happened in the last 2 months of my life. So today is February 27th, 2020. And this whole process started on December 28th, 2019. So it's literally been almost exactly 2 months. I have a notebook here of all of my notes, so that's what I'm going to be referring to. So yeah, let's just get started. Alright, so like I said, this whole thing started on December 28th. But something did happen right before then, and that's where the story is going to start. So the story is going to start actually on December 22nd. To kind of give a little context or little information, I guess, before I start, I have never been someone that throws up in their life. I've never been somebody that's like just gotten sick for random reasons. I don't throw up. Like if I have like my stomach's upset or anything like that, even if I get nauseous, I don't throw up. So on December 22nd, when I was home over winter break, I started throwing up. And that was really bizarre to me. I didn't really know what was going on, but eventually found out that I had the stomach bug, or I guess we came to that conclusion that I had the stomach bug. That's the first time that I've ever had anything like that in my life, and I was sick for, I want to say, a couple of days. Like, it wasn't too terrible. I mean, it was, but like, it didn't last for that long. So after a few days, I was starting to feel better. I went to work, started getting back into my routine, and then on December 28th, I worked a really long shift, and I worked at Firebirds, and it's a restaurant, and I basically was a hostess. And I remember this day in particular, I worked like a really long shift, and I worked until close. I decided on December 28th to ask my boyfriend to come over and walk my dogs while I was at work, and I asked one of the chefs to like make me dinner so that I could take home. I was taking dinner home, and I brought it home for me and my boyfriend. So I get home, and we're sitting there and we're eating, and as soon as we finish eating, I want to say maybe within minutes, like 5 minutes or so, I noticed that my stomach started hurting. And I thought this was just like, you know, me not being over the stomach bug. I thought I was going to throw up again. But quickly the pain started moving from my stomach to like my chest area, and then to my back, like my shoulders and my upper back. I had never experienced pain like this before in my life, and I can't put into words how painful this was. It's not a pain that, like I said, that you can really explain. It's honestly something that you would have to experience to understand. It just was so painful. It hurt to breathe, it hurt to walk, it hurt to talk. Like, honestly, all I could do was just sit there and like cry through the pain. At the time, my parents were out of town, and I was not about to go to a hospital or anything without talking to my dad first, because my dad would be the one that would have to pay for the hospital bills, and if he didn't think it was necessary, then I was not gonna go to the hospital. So I get on the phone with my dad. He's obviously like very like, what's going on? You know, are you okay? And basically he just told me, okay, you're gonna take some pain medicine, call me back in an hour, tell me how you're feeling, we'll decide from there. So I took some pain medicine, and about like right around the hour mark, I started feeling better. Like the pain kind of just subsided. So I called my dad back, told him I was feeling better, and told him that I was just gonna go to sleep. After that, I was fine. Like, woke up the next morning, had nothing going on, no symptoms. I was perfectly normal. And this kind of lasted for about a week to a week and a half. And then a week and a half later, either on January 7th or the 8th, I'm not exactly sure of which date it was specifically, I had another like attack or episode of this pain. I knew the same thing was happening because it was the exact same type of pain, But this didn't start after eating. I was sleeping. It was the middle of the night. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and it woke me from my sleep. And I was in so much pain, and I thought I was just, I'm going to sit through this. Hopefully it'll go away. After about 30 minutes of it just getting progressively worse, I decided I needed to wake my parents up. So I crawled to my parents' room as best I could, and I woke my dad up, and I told him that I was in a lot of pain. And I was just on the floor. I was crying. He got me some pain medicine and told me to go back to sleep, and, if it didn't go away after a few hours, then we would go to the doctor. So I went back to sleep. After about an hour to an hour and a half, it eventually went away, went back to sleep, woke up, and was fine. So this was kind of towards the end of my winter break, and I decided, while I'm home, why don't I just go see a doctor? Because I'm 19 years old now, so I was looking for a new primary care doctor anyways, so it was just simple to do this at home. So I went and I saw a new primary care doctor for the first time. It was our, first meeting together, first appointment. And this doctor was very nice, and I basically just went over everything that was going on, and she said, okay, we're going to do a few things. We're going to take blood, and we're going to do some x-rays of your back and see what's going on. So I said, okay, and we did all that, and I left. I ended up going back to school 2 days later. So I saw the doctor on January 10th, and then on January 12th, I went back to school. So on January 13th, I got a phone call from the doctor's office, and they told me that my x-rays showed that I had mild scoliosis, and they just assumed that the pain I was experiencing was from pinched nerves, which was a very, fair, assumption or guess or whatever, because, pinched nerves can cause extreme pain in various parts of your body, and my dad has experienced this, and so he wasn't surprised when I informed him of that. So we just thought we knew what it was. Okay, over and done with. I asked the nurse who gave me this information, I asked her if I should seek additional help, if I should go see a different doctor, and she said not at the moment. She thought that, it wasn't severe enough scoliosis for me to seek additional help, but if I did keep experiencing episodes, then I did need to go see a different doctor. So after a little while, I kind of experienced, in between my major episodes or attacks, I would experience minor ones, ones that wouldn't have me, on the floor crying in pain, but I would still recognize that the pain was there, but it just wasn't as severe. So I'd had, a lot of regular episodes, the major ones and little ones. So I was back at school for about a week, and I was doing okay. I had a couple, mini episodes here and there, but I was doing okay. And then around January 16th, I'm not exactly sure if that was the correct date, but it was a Thursday night, my roommate and I had just gotten back from walking around downtown. We just went on a walk, and we came back, and as soon as we got back, I noticed that my stomach started hurting very badly. I felt incredibly nauseous, and I thought I was going to throw up. And then, this did move from my stomach area to my chest, and then again to my back. And this was by far the most painful episode, at least thus far. And I was on the floor, I was crying, and I was on the phone with my dad because I really I wanted to go to the hospital. I was in so much pain, I did not know what to do. Again, my dad just said, you know what, we'll take some pain medicine, and in about an hour, see how you're doing, and we'll go from there. And so after about an hour, again, the pain went away, and I thought, okay, I'm fine now, I can get up, I can go do what I need to do. I'd gone to the gym earlier that day, and so I still needed to shower. So at that point, I decided to get up and go take a shower. While I was in the shower, I noticed that I started to feel very terrible again. And it was coming on very quickly and very strong yet again. So I finished up in the shower as quick as I could, and I got back to the room, and I was on the floor again, crying in pain, on the phone with my dad again. This time when I was on the phone with my dad, he said, you know what, we need to get an answer. We need to understand what's going on with you, so we need to be calling doctors tomorrow morning, and we need to find you somebody that you can see, somebody that can check you out and see what's going on. I think it was the following week that I looked up every orthopedist in Greenville, North Carolina that was in my insurance network, and I called every single one of them. They all told me the same thing. They did not treat patients with back injuries or issues, and they could not take me as a patient. So I was very frustrated. I did not know what to do at this point. So I just decided to start calling neurologists. I was like, okay, let's just call neurologists in Greenville. I think I called about 2 of them. I was told by both of them that they could not accept me because I had to be referred by a physician. So I could not just schedule an appointment with them myself. I got extremely frustrated at this point, and I called my primary care doctor at home, and I explained the whole issue, that I had been contacting doctor after doctor after doctor, and no one could seem to tell me that they could give me an appointment or point me in the right direction or tell me what doctor that I needed to be seen by. So when I got off the phone with my primary care doctor, they basically had told me that I needed to potentially see another internal medicine doctor, but in Greenville, because my primary care physician was an internal medicine doctor. I think a day went by again before I had another like mini episode, and I got so aggravated and so upset that I literally marched right down to the student health center here at my school, and I thought, you know what, if they can't even help me, at least they are doctors and they can point me in the right direction. I just needed someone to tell me what I needed to do, because it seemed at that point that no one knew. So I went down to the student health center, and I was seen in sports medicine, and they basically evaluated my back, and they told me that they did not think it had anything to do with my scoliosis, because it was so minor, they couldn't even see it. There was, it would not be causing that significant amount of pain. So after my appointment with the sports medicine at the student health center, they sent me back to the appointment office and told me that I should be seen by the doctors in the other wing, just the regular doctors, and be medically evaluated for anything else, because they thought it had nothing to do with my scoliosis. They made an appointment for the following day for me to come back. I went back the next day, and I was seen by 2 doctors, and one of them sat down with me for a good 30 minutes and was just talking to me, just had me explain every situation that I had encountered, every little thing that was going on, and we just talked for a good 30 minutes, and he literally just wrote up an entire thing in my folder. He evaluated me, didn't really say much after that, and so then the other doctor came in and decided to speak with me. She just said to me at that point, okay, we're gonna take blood from you. That's it. This doctor I had seen last semester for other issues that were completely unrelated to this. And for context, so I am somebody that has general anxiety, and when I first met this doctor in the previous semester, she noticed that, and she could tell that I was very anxious, and so she made note of that in my file. And basically this time around, when I saw her and she just mentioned to me like, okay, we're gonna take blood, she was very interested in just telling me, I really am confident that this is anxiety and that these are just panic attacks. I was so enraged when she said this to me. I mean, no disrespect to this doctor. She's been to medical school, she knows what she's talking about, except in this instance, I don't think that it was fair for her to just write off these symptoms as anxiety and just tell me that that's what she thought it was. I was very offended by it, and honestly, I didn't even want to come back to student health after that. I let them take my blood, and I was just going to let them call me back with the results and leave it alone from there. So I think it was 2 or 3 days later that they called me and told me that my blood looked perfectly normal, and I was like, okay, fine, good, we'll leave it alone. So I did not make another appointment at Student Health Center because I found that that was a complete waste of my time. All they did was talk to me, write stuff down, and just take my blood. That was it. They didn't try to do anything else. So I'm sitting here editing my video, and I finished it. It ended up being 26 minutes long. I was ready to upload it, and then it told me I can't upload a video that's longer than 15 minutes if you're unverified. So that's super fun. So the video is ending at a really awkward time. I'm gonna upload 2 videos back to back, but now I have to go back and re-edit the entire ending of my video. So sorry about that, but this is gonna be the end of part 1, and then I'm gonna be uploading part 2. So thanks for watching.